I mean, obviously they out physical us, and they're good. They're really good. I mean, there's a reason they're the ranked fifth best team in the country. My biggest disappointment as a football team was they didn't believe we could play with them till it was too late. We gave up 2 touchdowns in the first 5 minutes of the game with 9:28 to go in the quarter before they realized they're just like us. I mean, they were a little bit faster than us, but I mean, on defense from the rest of that point on, we gave up 10 points on the rest of that half and 10 points in the second half. Really disappointed in the touchdown drive in the second half because I thought we laid down and had to challenge them, and then they came out and played with some fight. Up front, they were more physical than us on their defensive line than our offensive line. We couldn't give Terry enough time to throw the ball. And then we didn't expose enough stuff up early. We thought we could move them around sideways and make them run sideways and try and outrun those guys in the middle. We didn't block well enough on the perimeter to make some of those, to take advantage of some of those things. So we were playing behind the sticks a whole lot today, and that makes it really hard. I mean, they out-physicaled us on that side of the ball for sure up front.
A shutout, what does that do for the morale of the team, you think?
I mean, if you're true to yourself, you look at it and realize, okay, if we would have approached this with the belief that we could play with these guys, we could be a heck of a lot more competitive than we were today. And that's one of the things that we're changing around here. I mean, you have to believe and expect to win, and I can talk about it, but until they believe that it's going to happen, I think the fact that we played with them beyond that point, there's some opportunity to show yourself that if you prepare right and you believe in what we're doing, that we can be competitive in these games. And there's going to be a point where we're playing these games here in the next couple of years where they're going to come in here expecting to – I mean, those guys – the attitude that we've had success with in the past is those guys have no idea what's about to happen to them. We're not there yet.
Do you sense that frustration with the offense as far as not being able to score?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think there was frustration in our lack of execution. I mean, man for man, we got beat. We've got to improve. We can do some things schematically to help them with that, but we have to execute. We can't. I mean, when you're outmatched, you have to do some things to give yourself a chance, and those little things we didn't do today.
As far as the defense goes, who were some of the guys that you saw stand out? Joey Noble?
I mean, I thought up front they didn't knock us around. I mean, I didn't think they'd be able to. If they tried to line up and just run the ball down our throat, I didn't think they'd be able to do that. They obviously, when they tried to run out the clock in the second half, they weren't able to just drive it down the field. They had the one drive they scored a touchdown on that I thought we laid up a little bit. But I thought Dion and Ray, I mean, we could have played a little bit better at outside linebacker. I thought Joey and Jake Saltonstall and Langston, I mean, did some good things in there. I mean, they had a hard time blocking those guys. We got decent pressure on the quarterback. We hit him a few times, and I mean, they didn't get the style points they wanted to be a CFP team, and that was because they were afraid to get the quarterback hurt, in my opinion.
It's hard to say after a shutout, after losing, but what do you have to say about the future of the program as far as
Nothing's changed. We're
getting on the field?
I mean, we're going to play the best ones, and if somebody gets dinged up, I mean, you didn't see them carry one Lobo off the field today. The ones that got dinged up carried their tails off the sideline. That's a mentality. Changing the belief of whether or not we can win this game, that's a mentality. And that's the stuff that I'm talking about, the marathon, not a sprint around here, is changing their belief that we can do this stuff. And today, there was baby steps forward in some of that. I mean, like I said, after the first touchdown, 3 plays, and we weren't even aggressive. And then the punt coverage, I mean, our special teams killed us today. I thought punt return and our punt coverage was absolutely horrible. So we have to fix that to be able to have a chance to be competitive next week against UTEP and then in our league. The second touchdown, the 75-yard touchdown, on a route concept that we practiced 100 times from our offense, was a matter of us being scared. I mean, we didn't believe that we could play with them. And so we get a vertical route by 2, another vertical route by 1. Well, 2 is the first one off the ball, so we jump it, and we leave a guy running wide open. That had nothing to do with physical ability. It had nothing to do with not knowing what to do. It had to do with not believing in that we could do it. And we calmed him down over on the sideline. And then after that, because of the punt coverage, we gave them a short field, but they couldn't move the ball anymore. That's a pure belief in what we're doing. And until they have that attitude of these guys have no idea what's about to happen to them, and we're building on that, nothing's changed. I mean, the only thing that's changed for the projection of our season right now, we can't win every single game this year. And we knew going into this game we were playing a team that had more talent than us, That doesn't mean we couldn't beat them, but we had no chance to beat them because we didn't believe in it early. And by the time we decided that we could compete, I mean, we were down 14-0, and then offensively we struggled enough that we didn't have a chance to win the game.
Do you think it was nerves at all? It was mostly just
Complete nerves, non-belief, complete nerves. I mean, look at what's gone on around here in the last 4 years. Okay, I mean, 3-9, 3-9, 2-10. You go to Notre Dame, you get beat 6-6, 14 in a non-competitive game. You go to Wisconsin, you get beat 45-14 in a non-competitive game, and then you lose 9 in a row you lose 13 in a row. It's not going to change overnight. We've made significant progress in our marathon sprint to a championship. But it just goes to show you how far we have to go. The belief in what we're doing is the hardest thing to change. They've had minimal success. They've had a little bit of success. We had a 4-game winning streak. We're sixth longest winning streak in the country. But they didn't believe that they had a chance to win today. There's going to be times where we go into Auburn and Arizona in 2024. They're going to go in there with the attitude of, that team on the other sideline has no idea what's about to happen to them. I've been a part of that, and we'll get there. We made some progress towards that, and some of it, I mean, the 10-0 score at halftime in the second half, that was they believed they could compete. As soon as we believe we can compete from the kickoff, we're going to have a lot better chance to be competitive in these games.
Anything else? Roger, you have anything over there?
You guys are on mute. You're on mute, Roger. KOAT, you're on mute if you guys have questions.
Yeah, Coach, your mentality going into the game, what did you talk to the team about? I mean, you're going into 82,000. You're playing NFL caliber defensive tackle, Clemens, number 2. What did you tell the team, and how did they respond at the end of the game? How was their confidence?
Well, I mean, at the end of the game, I mean, they realized that we can be competitive. I mean, 34-0, you're going to look on paper, and it's not going to look competitive. There was aspects in the game where, I mean, we made stops on defense. We got a couple first downs on offense. The special teams we got to fix that. But the mentality and the talk all week was, you have to believe that you can compete with these guys. And I can say that until I'm blue in the face, until they start seeing results and until they see some of the things that we had that were positives today. And we'll have to go back and we'll coach it up on tape and show them the things that we did and why we got beat on certain things and how we can do it better. And then once they realize and believe that we can compete with these teams and beat them, that's when you'll see a significant change. I mean, there was some of that today on certain points of the game that we can coach it up. But they're the 5th best team in the country for a reason, and that's where we aspire to be. We aspire to be a top 25 football team. And that mentality ain't changing, and they're going to continue to hear it from me. And the ones that buy in are going to continue along in these programs, and the ones that don't buy in and don't believe, they'll be easy to identify, and they will no longer be a part of us.
Gotcha. And no major injuries, Coach?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, we'll evaluate in the training room and see, but nobody that I'm aware of right now is hurt long term or hurt for next week. We'll see though on Sunday. They'll be, after you lose a game, you're more sore, things hurt worse, so the injury list will definitely be longer. Plus we played a physical team that was a little bit bigger and stronger than us, so that'll make it a little bit longer, but nothing, you didn't see any Lobos get carried off the field. I can promise you that.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
All right, anything else? All right, you're good.
All right, thanks.